Hello everyone and welcome to Learn Tech. Office 365 migrations can quickly become complex, especially when dealing with multiple users and large mailboxes. In this video, I'll show you how an Office 365 migration tool simplifies tenant-to-tenant migrations while keeping your data intact. This tool lets you transfer data across all Microsoft 365 components without data loss, including shared mailbox, groups, archive mailboxes, and public folders. You can migrate single or a bulk mailboxes, apply filters for selective data transfers, map users easily between tenants, and use incremental migrations to move only newly added data. It also supports domain transfers between tenants and includes a free preview so you can verify your data before starting the migration. So in order to download the tool, you can just follow the link on the description below, and once you are here, just click over free download, or you can go right away and buy the software. Alright, so after you have installed the kernel Office 365 migration tool, you'll end up at this step where you have to select if you're going to use Office 365 migration or the Pro Edition. With the Pro Edition, you get more functions, like for example, OneDrive migration or SharePoint Online migration. That's why in this case, we're going to focus on this part of the tool for Office 365 migration. So let's click over Let's Connect, and then over here, as you can see, this is what is possible. You can migrate user groups, Exchange Online, OneDrive, or SharePoint to another destination, which the same way. So you map users to users, groups to groups, or whatsoever. We click over Go and let's start right away. Here you have to define the project name. By going over Add Project here at the top, you can create as many projects that you want, but in this case, I'm just using the same project that I have already, but entering a job name, which in this case is gonna be migration. And then once I'm done with this, we click over Next, and then over here, you have to define the source and the destination that you're going to use for this migration. In this case, I have already a source over here, but you can easily add a new source by clicking over Add Source. And here you have to define the connector name, then the tenant ID, client ID, and client secret. All these details, how you can find them. Here you have a help guide which explains you exactly what you have to do in order to find all this information. Once you have entered all this information, you basically just have to click over Add, and then you will see the source on the list of the sources over here. The same thing for the destination. We click over Add Destination, you enter the connector ID, tenant ID, client ID, and the secret client, and then once you're done, we click over Add. I'm going to create for you quickly a destination just to have an idea how it works. Alright, so once you have done all these settings here, you just click over Add, and then let's see what happens. Great, so the destination is added successfully, and this notification you will get once you have entered all this information correctly, then you will get this notification. If you haven't entered this information correct, then it will show you where the mistake is. We click over OK, and then as you can see, we have here the source and here the migration. To see the details of an existing connector, you just click over it, and then you click over View Details, and over there you can see all the settings that you have. Great, so once we have the source and the destination, we select both of them, so the connector at the source and the connector at the destination, and then practically we just click over Next. And then it will pop up this window which will ask you, what do you want to migrate? Do you want to migrate the Exchange Online data or the OneDrive data? I'm just gonna select both of them, and then we click over OK. So here it is the list of the users. Over here you can just search for the user that you want to migrate, and once you find that user, you just select that, and then you click over Next to move to the next step. Another setting that I want to show is that you have the possibility to import the CSV or to export the CSV. So basically this will simplify the process of importing the emails from your cloud 365 in this case. So once we are done with these settings here, we click over Next, and here we have to do the same thing. We have to define the mapping for this migration. So which will be the destination? Let's select this one in this case, and then we just click over Next. Here you have to define the items that you want to migrate. I'm just going to keep the first one, test data, and then we click over Next, and I'm unselecting for both of those. You have here also the possibility to unselect or select the OneDrive or the mailbox, and then we click over next. Here you have more settings about the drive. So what do you want to do? Do you want to upload only if the target file exists and is older than source file? Do you select if you want to migrate all data hierarchy into a separate folder or whatsoever? You check those settings and apply which one fits more to your migration. The same thing applies for the mailbox. You have over here settings related with the migration. Do you want to create a folder filter? Do you want to specify the mail modification date, so only the emails that have been modified from this date to this date you want to migrate or whatsoever? Also the items, do you want the emails, calendar, contacts, tasks, or all of them? In this case, I'm just selecting all of them. We click over next, and then you have possibility to schedule when do you want to do the migration, or you just do it right now. I'm just gonna click right now, and then it will pop this other page where we have to click over create, and that job is created successfully. Alright, so here we are. This is the migration job that I just created right now. As you can see, the state is on migrating, and it will take a lot of time because, as you can see, it's going to migrate around 220 gigabyte, and it's running right now. It's checking that there are many duplicate items. So basically we're gonna see at the end when the process will be successful. Meanwhile, just for showing to you, I'm migrating also just the emails, which basically is quite simple and more easy and fast, because in this case I'm just transferring 7.3 gigabyte, and as you can see here, you can see the result of the transfer. And one thing which is quite interesting and important, over here you have the migration report. By clicking over the migration report, you can see what's happening with the jobs that you have for this project assigned and what are the results until now. This will take some time, but it's worth waiting because at the end you will get the transfer done and successful. All right, let's have a look on one of the jobs that now it's over. As you can see, the status now it's showing completed, and it's on a ready state, which means that you can rerun again that project if you want. Also, you can see that if you click at the source here, you will see all the details about what has been migrated. So this is the source path and the destination path and the status of it. The first migration, which has to do with the drive, it's still taking time. It's still removing duplicates and filtering and whatsoever. But yeah, basically that's how it is. That's how the migration is done. And once you see the status here completed, it means that the migration has been done. So basically that's all that you have to do in order to migrate from one tenant to another tenant with all your items, your OneDrive, SharePoint, emails, whatever you have there, by just using Kernel Office 365 Migration Pro. Thanks a lot for watching. All the best. Thank you.